that to my face instead of keeping me in the dark. And Naomi had to explain to her, baby, it wasn't because everybody thought you were a liability. It really falls on
lawful wedded husband.
To be my Barbertine's heart.
With a tramp like you?
Well, I know it hurts being third rate, but aren't you accustomed to it yet?
Oh, Robin, I see. I baptized myself the slut of Springfield! Son of a bitch in heat. I found out myself what love is all about.
Hey everybody, it's me, Nikki. Let's talk about Beyond the Gate. So we are getting ready for the Articulates reunion concert. So everybody's just kind of getting everything together. Naomi ends up telling Danny about Evil Genuine, setting up the hit on that man. And she's like, so why didn't anybody tell me? If y'all think I'm a liability, why don't y'all tell me that to my face instead of keeping me in the dark? And Naomi had to explain to her, baby, it wasn't because everybody thought you were a liability. It really falls on the fact that I'm married to a cop and they think that when it boils down to it, I can kind of tell them if he's on the right track or if he's sniffing around too much or what's going on with that situation. Now, Kat ends up getting told about Martin and Smitty, and they whole drop kicked him out the house, and now he's staying at the Grand's place. But she still don't know about the attack in the sundown town and the bigoted busboy. Her, Chelsea, Andre, they don't know. Those are the family members at this point that don't know. Oh, and Jacob. Jacob doesn't know either. So at this point, Jacob, Andre, Chelsea, Kat are all in the, they are all still outside of the know of what happened when it came to what happened on that night. Anyway, Lil Sabbatical tells, Kat about what happened, and Kat was like, oh my God, I'm being so selfish, I'm being so self-involved. Basically is how I read it. She feels like she was being too self-involved with her business and Tomas. And I would like to also add trying to handle the situation with Wiki Wonder and Eva, that she wasn't paying attention to what was going on with her brother. And when she stopped Martin in the Orphe jeans, and he was asking, do I need to, my breakup kit, do I need to do that? She was like, I was going on about my pathetic life, and here my brother, he's going through like the biggest heartbreak ever. And Sabbatical was like, listen, I'm gonna need your help on how to get them back together. I'm gonna need your help on that, because this ain't it, that ain't that. It's too much. It's too much. Now, Naomi comes down there looking for Chelsea. Chelsea's not there. She's up at the Grands. She's up at their house looking for Miss Anita. So she comes and she talks to Sabbatical and Kat. And, Sabbatical was like, maybe us Duprees need to just stop falling in love. And Kat was like, you know what? You might be right. Okay, let's do that. And Naomi was like, that would be no fun. And she was like, well, you and Jacob need to teach a class. Talking about Kat. She was like, y'all need to teach a class on having long and happy marriages. And she was like, nah, I think the Grands have that. So Nicole and Martin have their first unofficial session in therapy, and he's like, listen, I want to be back with my husband. I understand why my husband threw me out the house. And Nicole had to explain it that Daddy Dupree did what he did for Martin out of love. Even though it had all this blowback and all this fallout, he did what he did because he loved his grandson, and what he thought he was doing was trying to help, right? And Martin did what he did when he saved Daddy Dupree because that's his grandfather. He loves him, and he felt like it was the right thing to do. But when you start to do things out of love and start to make decisions out of love based off what she said, you make these choices and you make these decisions, and sometimes those choices and decisions that you made in the name of love might be the most damaging thing ever. But Martin's whole thing is going back to I understand what happened. I understand that my husband didn't throw me out because I had red corn syrup on my hands, but the fact that I had lied to him all this time, and all I want to do is be back with my husband and be in my bed with my man, and that's the opposite of what he wants. He don't want me in his bed. He don't want to be back with his man, and I hate it. I hate it. But Nicole, he was like, how do I fix this? Because I need to fix this. And she was like, baby steps. And it was like, somebody is not taking their own advice. somebody's not taking their own advice. And she asked him, how are you doing with the nightmares? And he still has insomnia. So she was like, I'll teach you some breathing techniques. Before they could really get into that, Danny pops up, and Danny's like, listen, both y'all going to this concert. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all. I got both y'all some outfits. Y'all better put these on and show up and show out like y'all should, or it's going to be an issue. Nicole don't want to go because she feels like she don't really care to put Miss Anita's feelings in the top 10 list, especially after Miss Anita and Daddy Dupree kept her in the dark about her child. And, Danny was like, listen, you can have one night to relax, relate, and release. But if you were not there, prepare to feel the wrath of Anita Dupree. Oh yeah, that's face she gives when she's ready to devour someone but she's smiling. I can handle that. Oh no. What I'm talking about is when she hugs you and loves on you, hiding her emotions about how hurt she is. Prepare to deal with that for the rest of your life. And Nicole was like, I put on a damn dress. I thought you would. I thought you would. And then we turn to Martin, and Martin is like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. There's too much going on. And Danny is like, first of all, Danny bullied him. And Nicole is like, stop bullying him, girl. Bullying works. Okay, she got you there. Now it's time to get Martin. And Martin's like, well, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And Danny had to get him together. And then Nicole had to jump in too. So you kind of bullied your own son as well. Because it boils down to this. This is Miss Anita's night. She poured her heart and her soul into this. And she opened up some wounds that probably should have stayed closed. But hell, they opened up anyway. And is trying to do the work to fix a lot of relationships. And whenever you needed her to do something, first of all, she sang to Martin every day that he was a baby. But every time Martin needed her to sing at a fundraising event in his career, she popped up and showed out for him. She don't charge you no rent to live in her house, even though you offered. She ain't gonna take your money. She wants utter devotion. So guess what you gonna give her? Utter devotion. And both of y'all better be in them front row seats with the family. Ain't playing with y'all. And it's the same thing with Smitty. Smitty don't want to go. He think everybody upset with him because he drop kicked Martin out the house. And it's just like, anybody upset with you because you drop kicked Martin out the house? Everybody understands who's in the know why you drop kick Martin out the house. Stop worrying about it. And you know who has to be the voice of reason and also had to call in some reinforcements to get Smitty together? Little tight areas had to be the voice of reason when it came to Smitty and gather them up multiple times. And he was like, you told me to not avoid these big emotions, but you seem to be the one avoiding big emotions at this current moment. If you really think I want to hang around Pop when I'm still angry at him, please. But since you don't want to handle your big emotions, but you trying to avoid everything with some housework or some work that you really don't have to do, then maybe you're the wrong person for me to look up to. And then he called in Daddy Dupree to come in with the alley-oop, and he was just like, listen, we got to have a conversation, but it's going to be at another time. But Miss Anita does want you there, and it's an invitation coming from the top. So hopefully you will also be in the front row for family, okay, in the name of family. Now, Agent Price, Jim Price, whatever the hell his name is, wants Miss Anita to do a jazz solo. She was already worried about the concert and everything that was going on. And he said he wants her to do a jazz solo. And she said no, because this is about the articulates. Ain't gonna do it. Not gonna happen. Not up in here. Now, between time, like I told y'all, Chelsea was up at the Grand's house, and Miss Anita and Daddy Dupree weren't there, but Tracy and Sharon were. And Tracy and Sharon are working on the routines and all of that stuff. And they meet Chelsea, and Chelsea's so happy to meet them. And Sharon is a fan of Chelsea, so it's a good time had by all. When the seamstress comes in with they costumes ain't hitting on nothing. So Chelsea works her magic as she styles the hell out of them, fixes them up. Okay, we have so little time, but we got it done in so little time. Shout out to us because we get done around here. And she ends up doing an interview with them. And they talk about where life took them. Tracy traveled with her voice. She's been to so many places that she never thought she would go to as a girl. Sharon is very much in love with being the choir director, and Tracy come up in there looking for a solo every Sunday that she is in Chicago, and she's a vocal coach. And they talk about their friendships and their love for one another and Miss Anita, and they also have a little moment where they're singing. So it's a cute little moment. And we also have the Chelsea Cat logo right there. But ultimately, I'll say this. The articulates finally take accountability, as in all of them take accountability for what happened. They all made a choice to kick Barbara out the group. Dante Green wanted her gone, but they all made the choice. And blaming Miss Anita and putting all the blame on her was to try to absolve them of the guilt that they felt. But they all take onus in what they did. Miss Anita likes the new costume. She didn't like the old costume. She likes the new costume. So hallelujah. Because they was worried about, Chelsea, you fix these, but your grandma's going to be mad at you. But yes, they hug it out. Miss Anita thanks them for giving her time to fix their relationship, and then Miss Anita has to tell them about Dante wanting her to do a solo, and she's like, I already said no, but you know, Daddy Dupree was like, let me run this by the girls. You should run this by the girls and get a real vote. But I don't think they are going to be against her doing a solo. Now, the rest of the Dupree girls are down there watching Articulate videos and trying to get the routines down. And it's looking like a little sabbatical is going to be doing a routine with a Chelsea Cat bag. But we're going to see what happens.